Broadcast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
In the middle of a major winter storm here in central Illinois. That's the view along Neal Street in Champaign. You can't even see the lines. Barely can kind of tell where the roads are, the two different lanes there. Dangerous stuff, so be careful as we are going to be continuing to deal with this for the next several hours. All of our cameras are just white with snow tonight. Let's take you to Decatur and show you this. And you can see the snow that's just blowing across there on our Roofing Dog at Carriage Crossing camera. It is everywhere dealing with this. Now, there's a winter storm warning in effect for pretty much everybody, but this is the concern. These heavier bands, this dark blue right now into Douglas, Vermilion, parts of Champaign County. This is really heavy stuff coming down, and we are getting some very high snowfall totals already. We still got several more hours of this. We'll talk about amounts and team coverage. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Kevin said it. We're under a winter storm warning. It's been a rough day to be on roads in central Illinois. We will show you that mess. Plus, crews continue to do their best to clear the snow. How COVID is affecting how many are plowing.
And also tonight, were you scheduled to get the vaccine today? Why people couldn't get a hold of a public health department to confirm or cancel.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
If you don't need to be out in this, don't.
It's white out in parts of central Illinois. Winter storm warning continues across the viewing area, creating hazardous conditions. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Snow continues, some of that being heavy at times. To make it worse, those temperatures, they are staying in the single digits with wind chills near 10 to 20 below. We have team coverage for you with this major winter weather event. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy live in the tracking center. Meteorologist Jack Gerfin in Storm Tracker 3. Courtney Bunting live in Champaign, and Bryce Beeman is live in Decatur. All right, first to Kevin, this is a big one.
This is the big one, and we've been talking about it for days now, and it is here. We are in the middle of what is going to be considered the heaviest part of this storm over the next several hours here, and it is impacting everybody. Nobody's being left unscathed here. Take a look at these different traffic cameras that we've got, and look at our one on I-74 at the Bowman exit in Danville. I mean, look at that snow that is just blowing sideways across the camera there. This is really heavy stuff, and it is causing visibility issues as well. Look at the visibilities down to a half a mile in Danville, in Decatur, in Mattoon. This is stuff that you really need to be very careful with. It is a light, fluffy snow, and it is coming down. And we've got our own meteorologist, Jack Gerfin, who is out there in the storm tracker. And Jack, you're hitting the roads. I know you're being safe, but I know you've been telling us it's not good out there.
Yeah, it's not good, Kevin. So right now I'm on 150. I took I-74 from Champaign to St. Joe. Now I'm heading back to Champaign, and 150 is not good. You've got much more in the way of drifting snow on it. It is a 55-mile-an-hour highway, and I'm going about 28. So we are going about half the speed limit. And so, again, you want to make sure that you're just driving to the conditions that you encounter. Sometimes your roads are going to be a little bit better, but in most situations, they are not good, especially your cities and your towns and your neighborhoods. Those are actually some of the worst roads that we have encountered. So, Kevin, we're going to keep on monitoring things as I get back into Urbana, and I'm going to toss it back to you, and we'll stay safe in the storm tracker. Back to you.
All right, Jack, thank you for your work out there. And here's the thing. Travel impacts are high even through tomorrow morning. Even though the snow is going to stop after midnight, that snow is going to blow, and it's going to drift and go back over across those roads. So definitely be careful if you're going out and about as we head throughout even tomorrow morning. Paul, Jennifer, this is the big one. We're still talking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 inches of snow by the time it's all said and done. And we're now getting to 1 inch per hour snowfall rates. And that's when the snowplows cannot keep up. They can't keep up with that because they're gonna plow 10 minutes later, road's covered again.
And you got to wonder, these crews are just working hours
and
hours and hours. They have to get some rest.
They're doing their best out there for us, but sometimes Mother Nature's gonna win this one, I think.
All right.
This is gonna be a long night.
Yep.
Thank you. If you are having to venture out tonight, as Kevin and Jack said, the roads are a mess. This is IDOT's map of road conditions. The areas in dark purple, those are covered with ice and snow. Areas in pink, mostly covered. Spots in blue are partly covered.
And as we mentioned, it's been a busy day for first responders and crews working to keep those roads clear from snow and crashes. There were several crashes across Champaign County earlier this morning, mainly along I-57 and 74. The slick and snowy conditions are causing dangerous driving conditions, and it's going to continue tonight. As of 4 o'clock, there have been almost 90 crashes reported by state police across the viewing area. There have been many in town, too. City crews are working to clear streets. It's difficult not just because of the weather, but some workers are out because of COVID-19. Let's check in with WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting. She's live in Champaign. Courtney, sounds like some plow drivers are in isolation.
That's right. Urbana Public Works is actually down 3 people right now because of positive cases of COVID-19, but that's still a better situation than they were dealing with last week. Last week, they had half of their staff quarantining or in isolation because of exposure or positive cases of COVID-19. They had 4 people with positive cases, about 14 they said who were quarantining for exposure, and right now they have 12 drivers rotating to handle the roads tonight.
We've implemented rapid testing here at the start of our shifts, so that way that should help prevent any future outbreaks here. So we're not quite at 100%, but we're just down a few employees at the moment.
All employees do have to get a rapid test before they're able to come into a city building, one of those rapid tests that we mentioned before. And also I talked to Champaign to see if they were dealing with similar issues, but they said right now their staffing level is what they said they're at full capacity in terms of staffing. So it's just Urbana that's dealing with that shortage right now, and they had crews coming in at 4 last night to prepare, and starting at midnight they were working these roads and will continue to do that until, of course, they're able to clear them as much as possible for drivers to stay safe tonight. Live in Champaign, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Courtney, COVID complications aside, it doesn't seem like it's possible to put enough drivers on the roads. Thanks.
Now, Public Works crews in Decatur are working to clear those roads out there as well, but it's the nature of this winter storm that isn't making it easy for them. WCIA 3's Bryce Beeman live there in Decatur. And Bryce, the city issued a snow emergency.
That's right, they did, and it's issued until about 9:30 tonight. They also issued a winter no parking alert, meaning certain areas of the city banned parking. The Macon County Highway Department also asked drivers to stay home unless there is an emergency. There are 7 snowplows trying to clear the roads. They will work on main roads before heading to residential and rural areas. The roads are completely covered where we're at in downtown Decatur. Winds are making it harder for the plows to keep the roads clear. They do ask if you are driving to give those plows a lot of extra room and to drive slow if you are around them. In Decatur, I'm Bryce Beeman, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, I hope everybody listens and just stays put tonight. Thank you. Now, with the weather, the Champaign School District has already made a change for tomorrow. All schools will be remote and follow today's schedule. Essential staff should report. Of course, there are many more closings, and they're at the crawl at the bottom of your screen, or you can also go to our website at WCIA.com.
And speaking of school closures, we'll tell you how remote learning is keeping kids in the virtual classroom after the storm. Also tonight, of all the days for the phone lines to be down, which public health department wasn't able to take your call?
All right, the snow is falling out here across central Illinois, and it is really coming down. We're looking at maybe some 1 to 2 inch snowfall rates per hour. And we've got this in this dark blue area from here in Tuscola to Newman up to the Ogden area. Very heavy and only going to be getting worse as we go throughout tonight. So when we come back, the latest on the final amounts we think we can see by morning.
Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
Active weather across central Illinois here tonight, and we've got you covered here. Team coverage here tonight. We've got meteorologist Jack Gerfin in the Storm Tracker. Jacob Dickey is out in the Weather Guard. We're going to go to Jack first. You're on the roads. What are you seeing right now?
Well, Kevin, I was in St. Joe. I took 150 back, and now I'm just about to Urbana right now. In fact, I'm stopping here at the light by the Aldi's, and 150 was rough. So we've got it completely covered. I can see a sheet of ice underneath the snow, and throughout many different times there on 150, I was having very poor visibility due to the blowing snow. So you've got the blowing snow concerns, you've got the icing over of the roads, and you've got the fact that the plows, while they may have gone over many spots, it's not as effective because of how cold it is. The salt and the brine just not working very well. And as a result of that, we've got the conditions that we do have. So now I'm in Urbana. Still, they've been going far, far underneath the posted speed limits here. And again, if you are going to be out this evening, try to avoid it. But if you need to, please use your turn signals. Give all the drivers behind you the extra heads up that you are going to be turning. I'm going to send it now back to you guys, live in the Storm Tracker. Meteorologist Jack Griffin, back to you.
All right, Jack, be careful out there. Thank you so much. Now we're going to slide on over here to meteorologist Jacob Dickey, who is out in the weather garden. Jacob, the winds causing an issue out there.
Yes, the wind has been an issue, Kevin. Look at these drifts that are here in the weather garden. You can see how high they are. I step in this here, and that's a couple of feet. Big drifts, and that's a problem for lots of folks all across central Illinois. We come look at the winds right now. Wind gusts are out of the north here. Current wind speeds, these are sustained winds, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Gusts are higher than that. What happens is the roads are going to be a struggle to keep clean here. We can see those road conditions are going to continue to deteriorate because the wind will continue to drift them over, and we'll see the salt and brine that normally works doesn't work because of how cold it is. So it's going to be a problem through the rest of the night as far as these drifts go. We shoveled here a little bit ago. It took 15 minutes for it to drift on over. The snow's going to continue through the night. We'll have more updates throughout the rest of the evening here in the weather garden. Kevin?
All right, thanks a lot. And boy, just look at this. Take a look at this camera here in Mattoon. I mean, the snow is just blowing. You can see it in the lights here, just really, really kicking across in Mattoon on the roofing Dagon at Casey Summers' camera, and it's like that way everywhere. And this is going to continue for several more hours. Winter storm warning in effect for everybody. You know that by now. This is a very high impact event. Just got to report that Champaign already has 4 inches of snow just from today. 4 inches of snow just from today already. There have been some reports down near Neoga in Cumberland County of 8 inches of snow already. This is a huge event here. And then that wind we're talking about causes huge visibility issues. You can't see very well, especially at night. We're talking half-mile visibility, and that's because of that snow kicking around. Look at the Storm Tracker Doppler here, where you've got these darker blue patches. We zoom in here. See this one right here? That's in eastern Champaign County, western Vermilion County. That is your 1 to 2 inch snowfall rates. That is incredible. That does not happen very often. And this kind of snow is going to continue. These little patches here for quite some time. Take a look. This is still snowing down in the St. Louis area. All of this still has to get through here tonight. So the impacts are with us through tomorrow morning, because even after the snow stops at midnight tonight, it's going to seem like it hasn't stopped because the snow is going to continue to kind of whip around. That's the future track. 10 o'clock tonight, noticing things beginning to taper off a little bit. But think about this. If it snows for the next 4 hours and we're at 1 inch per hour snowfall rates, that's another 4 inches of snow. On top of the 4 we've already seen in Champaign, on top of the 8 they've already had in Cumberland County, so you're talking 6 to 10 inches of snow easily across the area. And again, as we talked about this, the winds, 28, 30 mile an hour wind gusts. This is a major winter storm, and then we could barely touch on the cold, 13 below zero. Okay, 3 tonight, heavy snow, you know the drill. 14 tomorrow, and a look at your 7-day forecast. I don't even have time to talk about this, but there's another storm system maybe Wednesday, Thursday that could bring us more snow.
And really quickly, this is how bad it is. We just got this email from the Champaign County Highway Department. They are stopping plowing. They said it is too dangerous for the drivers. They are stopping plowing until early morning on Tuesday, telling you don't go out, because in Champaign County, those roads, they're not going to plow.
They're done. And that's a huge thing.
Visibility
when it gets to that is a huge thing. They're not going to plow until morning.
Yeah. So stay home.
That's good advice. All right. Positive news is coming from COVID-19 testing.
Plus, what will this winter storm do to vaccination clinics? And that snow keeps coming down. Here's a live look from our weather camera in Charleston.